I think for someone who's on, on the political left like I am in the UK, there's not, I found the Labour manifesto exciting, but I worry about employment rights post-Brexit. I worry about the environment. A lot. I worry about kind of the benefit freeze that's hitting, benefit cuts. That's, if the Conservatives win, there's no evidence May's going to reverse the measures introduced by Osborne. So I do worry that, people's lives are going to get gradually worse in this country. And then I worry about people's lives across the world. I worry about the impact of environmental change in countries where a few degree temperature changes could stop them being able to farm like they normally do. And I worry about that creating, a bigger refugee crisis than we already have, how we'll respond to that, whether we're equipped to respond to that. So I'm very pessimistic. I sometimes watch these kind of dystopian films and I'm like, it's looking more and more like a plausible scenario. I think most people are good, most people are fundamentally good, but I think figuring out how to mobilise people and how to make change is difficult, but I think there's always some level of hope for sure. Everyone cares about the country they live in, everyone cares about their own lives, their lives with their family and friends. I think the problem is it's persuading young people that politics can make a difference to those things. It's persuading young people that they're not all just the same, that your vote can make a difference. And it's quite mad because, if young people voted at the rate that pensioners vote, for example, they vote roughly half of the rate, less than half of young people voted last election, then it would be a different result. Like even with the poll gap as it is now, with Labour loads of points behind, the reason for that gap is because pollsters know that young people don't vote and take that into account. If young people voted, we'd potentially have a Labour win, which for me would be excellent, but it just shows that if you vote, it can make a difference. And I think young people need to realise that until they start voting, politicians aren't going to think about trying to appeal to them. So if you look at a lot of the cuts that came in under the last kind of Conservative government and the coalition as well, they're mainly been targeted at working age people. They've hit education, whereas pensioners have been to a much greater extent protected. Pensions, winter fuel allowance, all of these things, because the Conservatives know they need those votes. If young people were a bigger voting bloc, then politicians would have to start thinking about appealing to us much more. All elections matter, this one matters more than most. We're going to Brexit. That creates a whole lot of opportunities to reshape the country in all different ways. If we want, if we want our lives to get better rather than gradually worse, if we want houses that we'll be able to afford to buy, if we want our employment rights protected rather than the gradual erosion and casualisation, if we want our education to be affordable, if we want, our lives to get better as kind of previous generations expected their lives would, because for a while every generation's opportunities got richer. If we don't want to go into like a state of decline, we have to seize the initiative and make ourselves heard this election. It's not difficult to register, it's not difficult to vote, and if enough of us do it, we really can make a difference.